And it was this divine intelligence, wisdom and desire that caused the immortal personality that dwells in the midst of the coals of fire. The Bible said he is seated in light that is unapproachable. So even the angels of heaven, they don't know him. Every time he appears before them in the Shekinahs of reality, they fall on their faces and they say, holy, holy, holy. What it means is that the unapproachable one separates unto himself. They have never been able to come close, because this being cannot be approached, he cannot be known, he cannot be interacted with. So in the cradles of eternity, when the angelic beings were created, all they knew was that this creature is separate. So the only name they called him is separate, separate, separate. We don't know who you are. We don't know from whence you come from. When God comes out of the east gate, all Lucifer did was, Yahweh cometh, and the whole heaven melts. Yahweh cometh. That's why he was created with pipes and tabrets to alarm the arrival of Yahweh. Because any being that goes near him will dematerialize. He said, no one can see me and live. Yahweh cometh. And even the 24 elders, they prostrate flat. The only way God could be touched and interacted with, the only way God had to sit down for millions of years. How can creation interact with me? How can the angels know me? How can the stones feel the life of the divine? How can the trees know me? How can the mosquitoes, how can the lions know me? I want to create a realm, but I cannot be approached. I am a consuming fire. So the only thing that divinity bettered through their wisdom was to create a vessel called man, so that God can tabernacle in man. The Bible said in Ephesians 3:10 that even the principalities and powers, they will be taught the ways of God by looking upon man. In Eden, everything was a symphony of the divine. So when the mosquitoes came to man, they didn't come to bite him, they came to sing songs of glory. The man could pick the frequency of God, because the mosquito was meant to worship. So when he approaches the man, the flappings of his wings, you know, the Bible said the wings of the cherubim, as they flapped their wings, it was like the voice of many waters. So when the mosquitoes show up, they are bringing worship, and Adam can sense that vibration of God from the mosquitoes. When the lions see him, they see the effulgence of the divine. When David was carried to the spirit and he saw what God planned in the slate of eternity, he now said, what is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou did visit him? He said, you made him a little lower than only the Elohim, and you crowned him with glory. The word glory is the word kabod. It means the full weight and expression of God. That's the crown of man. In the angelic ranking, in all of creation, only man could reveal the dimensions of God. And Lucifer had perceived this thing, so he wanted to enter into it. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, above the clouds of the heavens, and I will be like the Most High. But it was not given to him, because when the divine was communing, no angel was given that status. And on account of Lucifer's attempt to be like deity, he was dethroned from heaven. So when Lucifer saw the man, so you are the one that God had this plan for, he came and made sure that man violated the protocol, because the man after God cannot be destroyed. The only way you can attack that man is for him to self-destruct. and Lucifer understand that the technology of self-destruction is the technology of rebellion. So he brought it in a subtle way by seduction. The word is called nakash. It means the whispers of an enchanter, the humings of divination. He whispered to the man, and the man went the way of rebellion and fell. And the prophet said, how art thou fallen? I have said, ye are gods, because you are the children of the Most High, but you will fall like one of the princes, because you know Lord. Why did you yield to the deception of the serpent? Do you know who you are? And the man began to live under a curse. From dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And he said to the serpent, you will go on your belly all the days of your life, and on dust you shall feed. So the man that was the carrier of the glory of God became food for the serpent. What a fall. Every time you live like the fallen man, you are food for the serpent. So the nakash will rule over you. You know that the hand of God is upon you, but it brings nakash in form of sexual appeal. And then you go like dust and you fall to immorality. Your tongue is supposed to carry the law of God, but it brings nakash. And then your tongue become an instrument of lie. And because you are falling, you call it pleasure, but you are dying. The moment you become the man of man, you become a prey of the serpent. Hallelujah. So the first effect of the fall is that we became food for the devil. The fallen man is dust, and the serpent feeds on dust. This is why most of us cannot exercise our will. We have become dust. I'm trying to step down so I can put these points together to help somebody. The second thing that happened is that Adam was the governor of the constellations. Adam ruled over the sun and the stars. He commanded the constellations. Everything that was in the visible creation was in the powers of Adam. The animals, the beasts of the field, and everything in the galaxies were under his authority. But when he fell, he became a slave of his environment. This is why many of you are virgins, but before you are in 200 level, you were disflowered. You became a slave of your environment.